Have Chelsea turned a corner? Are we good now? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Therapy. Cole Palmer's very good. So say if the Evening Standard. We're going to find out what they're talking about in regards to Chelsea's exciting new attacking catalyst in the front three. Also, Pochettino explains how he would have been killed by the owners had he'd rested a couple of knackered players. Yes. Positive movements ahoy. I realise I look like I'm going through puberty again. I've got spots on my head and it's because I've had Epsom salts baths and it's bringing out the toxins from my skin and I feel all teenage and hormonal and then no one understands me and I'm going to go and listen to Evanescence. Yeah, one for the teenagers there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Therapy. We're reading a couple of articles today from the Evening Standard. One is from Nazar Kinsella, and the other one might be as well, but the publication has failed to list the journalist here. We will talk about Chelsea more holistically as well, so it's hopefully going to be a positive and fun video moving forwards. Again, as always, thank you for joining me. You are welcome to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and please do drop a like if you want to support the content. I'm trying yerba mate tea for the first time. I'm wondering if it will make me turn into as good a footballer as Lionel Messi. Look, man, it's green, it looks gross, it reminds me of matcha in terms of just hot green beverages, which, by the way, is disgusting. But yerba mate, it's really nice, it's kind of sweet as well. So, yeah. There you go, a little tea review there you didn't expect you were going to get. Alright, let's jump into the first article talking about Pochettino. Nazar Kinsella on the Evening Standard writes, Pochettino joked about how Chelsea's owners would have, quote, killed him if he had rested the tired £200 million duo Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo against Arsenal. Of course, the South American qualifiers, they were both played, Argentina and Ecuador on Wednesday. Fernandez and Caicedo both played 90 minutes, in the Stamford Bridge draw. The two British transfer record signing, I keep forgetting how they're both the British transfer record signing, because you've got Jack Grealish 100, Declan Rice 105, and then it's 106 Enzo Fernandez, and 115 Moises Caicedo. Of course, we let a two-goal lead slip. Pochettino said it's crazy to expect Fernandez and Caicedo to perform after their exertions in South America, but explained his decision to play them. But they did perform, I'd say. Quote, it's crazy for players to come back from South America on Wednesday and play on Saturday. But if I say, okay, I'm going to give them a rest, you would kill me for sure if they don't play. The owners also, because they want to see their prized asset, the aforementioned two British transfer record players, playing in such a high-profile game. The London derby, not under the lights, but at Stamford Bridge. Massive, of course. Today, Caicedo and Enzo arrived after 2 games in America, and they were not fresh, but they were important players for us. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if one was out, like say Caicedo was rested and Nugachukwu started, we'd be worried, but we wouldn't be like crazy. If they were both out, I think we'd all be having panic attacks, but it's cool. He goes on to say, it's really tough to arrive like that. I hope they now can recover and train in one week to be at their best. So he's basically saying when they have a full week's training, which they will now, they'll come back and they'll eat the opposition alive. Interestingly, Pochettino refused to blame goalkeeper Robert Sanchez despite his error presenting the goal for Declan Rice. That let Arsenal back into the game. This is going to be interesting. His complaint was with the team about the poor decision making, and with so many players out injured, he says his side is not as settled as, for example, Arsenal's is under Mikel Arteta. He says this, quote, we didn't have the facility to have all our squad available and then to start picking the 11 from there. That is another thing you need to put into your analysis. We are putting that into our analysis, Poch. He goes on to say, then look at the form of the players that we had when they came in from injuries. Of course, Reece James needs time to recover. Maybe one criticism of us was we need to take better decisions in 77 minutes and not concede the way we do. Yes, well, in 77 minutes, I think our decisions were pretty damn good, man. We gave our opponent the confidence, momentum, and belief to say, come on. Yeah, we did. Well, hold on. We did. I'm not the kind of football fan / content creator to dig out an individual. It's not my style. But you have to obviously look at that game. and see at what moment it turned on. It's very, very obvious. We gave him momentum. The situation is to live together and improve together. Yeah, look, I dig it, man. I understand completely. As the gaffer, you're not going to dig out one guy because you see him the following morning and it's not going to be helpful. You don't do it in front of the players. You don't do it in front of the media, but you do it like with your fellow coaches and say like, that was nonsense. How do we prevent that from happening again? And, you know, maybe some of the goalkeeping coach staff, Ben Roberts, the one who loves him so much, just sits him down like that. Mate, you can't do that. Because you do that, that is good tea, bro. You're going to be out, baby boy. You're going to be out of here. And I hope, look, I haven't given up on him, but I have not got confidence in him currently. Which is similar, right? So let's talk about more of a positive thing. Cole Palmer. Wow, what a sensationally positive story this is turning out to be for the Chelsea. Nizar Kinsella, we don't know if he writes this one, but this is written on the Standard as well. Unfortunately not confirmed by the website. Pochettino pulled Cole Palmer in for a hug during his play against Arsenal. Yeah, do you remember that? Like, he literally grabs him on the touchline and is like, nom, nom, nom. Gives him a little cuddle. Lovely stuff. You love to see it. The Chelsea head coach could not hide his emotion towards his new forward as he whispered in the ear in the 67th minute of Stamford Bridge. I wonder what he said. You're playing so well. Do you know what... what it makes me think of? The year that we had the transfer ban and Willian was really, really good for... Lampard, and he was like pressing on the touchline. You might even remember this, and I can't remember which game. And he was right in front of Lampard, and he was tenacious. He got the ball and played it out. Amazing pressing and hard work, and you know, leading by example for like the 30-year-old or whatever. And Lampard's going, go on, Willie, fucking brilliant, Willie, which is obviously what they called him. I've got a really bad joke in my head, a really inappropriate joke, which I'm not going to say. But yeah, it's that moment of like the manager and player on the touchline, you know, encouraging the player on. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it just made me think of that. Anyway, Palmer had coolly opened the scoring from the penalty spot and, as the focal point of the Chelsea attack, had several times come close to a second goal. Yeah, he was the false nine, but if you look at his heat map, bro, I've since looked at it. I should have really prepared it for this video, but he was all over the gaff. He was absolutely everywhere. Incredible performance the closer you look at it. This kid is good. He has been, like, cultivated into, like, relative excellence by Guardiola. And now he's got like the ultimate youth player coach in Pochettino. And he's got what Raheem Sterling has got, which Raheem Sterling so far hasn't lived up to, but the opportunity to come down to London and just be the guy at this club, you know, that's different to the machine, the autonomic machine that is Manchester City. And the fact that he took that penalty off Raheem Sterling, like I heard Matt Davis-Adams talk about it, and I was thinking, I forgot that. Oh yeah, they're actually quite good mates or whatever, because they were mates. They've got a close relationship from Man City, so they probably wouldn't be at each other that much if they weren't that close. Like Raz was just really like, I'm taking it, and he's like, no, come on, you know. If they were just two random teammates, I'd be a bit more concerned with that exchange. But yeah, the way Davis Adams explains it is that, you know, they do have that kind of like big brother vibe. So yeah, that kind of made a bit more sense to me. He played out of position as a false nine amid injury concerns around Jackson. Of course, Jackson had the surgery on his wrist. Breuer is sort of recovering after his probably too quick of a reintroduction into football since his injury. Palmer had now started 4 consecutive matches in all competitions and helped Chelsea record 3 wins. So I think he's got 4 goal involvements in 4 games as well, which is very good for a 21-year-old new signing to a new club. Incredible, really. Pochettino has described him as a, quote, link player, and he has brought composure to the attack that was regarded as the most wasteful in the division. Yeah, that's Chelsea. His confidence, ability, and winning mentality was built under Pep Guardiola at Man City, following him fitting seamlessly into Pochettino's plan. He has just slotted in. He's like, yeah, I can do this. Don't worry about it, mate. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't look worried at all. He's like, yeah, I know to work hard. I know how to like link play. I've been playing for Guardiola. It's fine. Kind of like Raheem Sterling in a way when he joined, but I don't know. I feel like, you know, there's just something really bright and impressive about Cole Palmer. Like I said, I don't want to blow my own horn, but I was so gassed on this signing to the point where people were thinking, why are you like, you know, it's a City Academy player, but I was really excited. And so far, he's proven me right. Such has been the impact, his £40 million move from Man City is beginning to look like a bargain. Ding, 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 ding. 2 goals, 2 assists mean Palmer now has 4 goal involvements this season. This is despite initially missing 4 matches after joining on transfer deadline day. Stand-in Chelsea captain Conor Gallagher said of Palmer, quote, "As soon as he came into Chelsea, you could see his talent in training and how he's showing it in games. He's helped us massively since coming in." I agree, Captain Gallagher. Despite an impressive display from Palmer, and even after Mykhailo Mudryk made it 2-0, Chelsea's collapse leaves him in 10th place. How are we still in 10th place? There's something about Chelsea in 10th place that, I don't know, it just makes me, I hate it. There was a sense of frustration after the game as Robert Sanchez made that mistake. Of course, Declan Rice. I think also Declan Rice deserves more credit for this finish. It wasn't like just an open goal. He still had to do a good finish there. Leandro Trossard completed the comeback, and that was a good goal as well. I have watched the highlights loads more in analysis, and yeah, but still, we still gifted it to them ultimately. Pochettino refused to blame individuals, pointing out instead to the poor decision-making late on and tiredness in his midfield. Of course, we've already spoken about his comments on the tiredness of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. Palmer is ready to be the star forward after already being the penalty taker, which makes you think and ask the question. Theoretically, our star forward, our Galactico forward, remains Christopher Nkunku until it doesn't because of his... Look at this, I can twizzle my moustache. Because of his just like pedigree and his finishing. Like, who's going to take penalties when Nkunku returns? Like, if Palmer stays in the team, which, touch when he doesn't get injured, but we'll need to touch every friggin' tree in the world, knowing Chelsea's record, he'll probably stay on penalties now, and he should do. If you're just scoring penalties, you should remain on them until you're off them. Do you know what I mean? I think I've run out of yerba mate, guys. But Nkunku's going to come back. He was going to be the penalty taker, surely, right? But he'll come back, and he won't be taking penalties. Or will he? You know? And, like, another thing to consider is, are we going to go back to this formation where Nkunku looks so great in pre-season in the number 10 in a 4-2-3-1 formation? But to do that, like, you have to probably drop Conor Gallagher. And to do that, you're also probably never going to reintroduce a £60 million signing in Romeo Lavia back into a starting 11 here. Like, the only way Lavia really gets in, and he's a massive investment, by the way, is probably you think we keep a 4-3-3 and you drop Conor Gallagher. But Conor Gallagher's been one of our most consistent performers and arguably a really important catalyst in the midfield function that's seen us become an undefeated team in 4 games and, you know, gave away this game against Arsenal. It should be 4 wins out of 4. You know, make no bones about it. That's where we are. Who, you know, do we change formation? Of course, Nkunku could play as a striker, and we might see that as well. We might see a front 3 of Nkunku up top, Palmer on the right, and Mudryk on the left, which leaves you all kinds of alternatives as well. Sterling, Noni Madueke, you know, other players that can come in and be utilised. And then you don't utilise the number 10, but the likes of Carney Chukwuemeka won't be too happy about that, because that's seeming... It's tough! It's tough, I don't know what we're going to do. Look, you can let me know your thoughts. What would be, by the end of the season, when everyone's fit, when everyone's available, what's your formation and what's your strongest starting 11? Or what do you speculate it will be? Of course, anything could change. One player might just catch fire and become undroppable, you know? You don't know that. But I'll be very interested in learning what you guys think. But it is a really feel-good story, Cole Palmer. You have to say, man, I think he's excellent. And at the moment, he's our best attacker, which is great. And I feel really good that Mudryk's got, you know, some goals. He scored at Fulham, he scored for Ukraine, scored against Arsenal. That would do him the world of good, scoring, even if he didn't mean it. And I'm sorry, like, I don't even know how this is a debate. He did not try and score a goal. He tried to cross it to Sterling at the back post and sliced it, and it looped the goalkeeper and went in. You know? I'll leave it up to you guys to discuss in the comment section. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your interactions, just hanging out on the channel. You're all welcome to subscribe, of course. And hopefully I'll see you back here very soon. Peace.